11 died horrifying deaths. 1 walked away. The 12 apostles. Simon Peter crucified upside down. Peter was a fisherman from Bethsaida and became the outspoken leader of the 12. After Jesus' ascension, he led the early church in Jerusalem and later traveled to Rome. During Emperor Nero's persecution of Christians, c. 64 AD, Peter was sentenced to death by crucifixion. According to the apocryphal Acts of Peter, he requested to be crucified inverted, head downwards, because he felt unworthy to die in the exact same manner as his Lord. He was buried on Vatican Hill, where St. Peter's Basilica now stands. 2. Andrew, Peter's brother. How he died: crucified on an X-shaped cross. Like his brother, Andrew was a fisherman. He preached around the Black Sea and in Greece. He was martyred in the city of Patras by order of a Roman proconsul named Aegiates. Andrew was tied, not nailed, to a cross to prolong his suffering. The cross was shaped like an X, now known as a saltire. As Andrew declared he was also unworthy to die, on the same shape of cross as Jesus, he preached for 2 days from the cross before dying. His symbol, the X-shaped cross, appears on the flag of Scotland, St. Andrew's Cross. James, son of Zebedee. How he died: beheaded with a sword. James, along with his brother John and Peter, formed Jesus' inner circle. He was the first of the apostles to be martyred, and his death is the only one recorded in the Bible. Acts 12:1-2 states, "It was about this time that King Herod Agrippa I arrested some who belonged to the church, intending to persecute them. He had James, the brother of John, put to death with the sword." The act of beheading was considered more noble than crucifixion, reserved for Roman citizens, but was still a violent execution. Before his death, the man who accused him in court was so moved by James's testimony that he converted, and was beheaded alongside him. John, son of Zebedee. How he died: natural causes, old age. John, the brother of James, is the only apostle who escaped a violent death. He is traditionally the author of the Gospel of John, 3 epistles, 1, 2, and 3 John, and the Book of Revelation. Under Emperor Domitian, c. 95 AD, he was exiled to the island of Patmos for his faith, where he wrote Revelation. After Domitian's death, he was allowed to return to Ephesus, in modern-day Turkey. He died of old age around 100 AD, making him the last surviving apostle. A famous, though likely legendary, story says he was once brought into a Colosseum to be boiled in oil but emerged unharmed. Philip. How he died: crucified, traditionally upside down. From Bethsaida, Philip was known for his practical, questioning nature, e.g., "Show us the Father," John 14 verse 8. He preached in Phrygia, modern Turkey, and was martyred in the city of Hierapolis. According to the apocryphal Acts of Philip, he converted the wife of the Roman proconsul, enraging the official. Philip was arrested, scourged, and then crucified upside down. While hanging on the cross, he preached, and a crowd gathered to free him. But Philip refused, asking to be taken home to heaven. He died on the cross. Bartholomew, believed to be Nathanael. How he died: flayed alive, skinned, and then beheaded. He is almost certainly the Nathanael, in John's Gospel, the one Jesus called a true Israelite, in whom there is no deceit. He preached in India and Greater Armenia. His martyrdom is one of the most gruesome. Tradition holds he converted the king of Armenia, Polemius, which enraged the king's brother, Astyages. Astyages ordered Bartholomew to be flayed alive, his skin removed piece by piece with a knife, and then beheaded. This is why he is often depicted in art holding his own skin, and he became the patron saint of butchers and leatherworkers. Thomas, Didymus, doubting Thomas. How he died: speared, pierced with a lance. Famous for doubting the resurrection until he touched Jesus' wounds, Thomas became a fearless missionary. Strong tradition, recorded in the apocryphal Acts of Thomas, places him in India, where he founded 7 churches, the Mar Thoma Christians. In Mylapore, near modern Chennai, India. He converted the king's wife and a general. The local pagan king, angry over the conversions, sentenced Thomas to death. He was led to a hill outside the city and pierced through with a spear, or, in some accounts, shot with arrows and then speared. His tomb in Mylapore is a major pilgrimage site. Matthew, Levi, the tax collector. How he died, martyred, likely by being killed with a halberd, a sword-axe hybrid, or burned. A despised tax collector before following Jesus. Matthew traditionally wrote the first gospel. He preached in Judea, Persia, and Ethiopia. There are two main traditions. The Roman Catholic tradition says he was stabbed to death with a halberd in Ethiopia while celebrating Mass. Another Eastern tradition says he was burned alive or killed with a sword in Hierapolis, Turkey. He is often depicted in art with a sword or a halberd, and his symbol is a winged man or angel. James, son of Alphaeus, often called James the Less, the Younger. How he died, beaten to death with a club or stoned. To distinguish him from James, son of Zebedee, he is called James the Less, meaning the younger or the small. He was the first bishop of Jerusalem. The Jewish historian Josephus and early church fathers, like Clement of Alexandria, record his death in 62 AD. The Jewish high priest, Ananus, ordered him stoned for breaking the law. After he was stoned, a laundryman beat him on the head with a fuller's club, a wooden club used to beat and clean cloth, crushing his skull. Eusebius records that he was so holy from constant prayer that his knees were as hard as a camel's. Thaddeus, Judas, son of James, also called Lebbaeus. How he died, martyred with arrows or beaten to death with an axe. To avoid confusion with Judas Iscariot, he was often called Thaddeus, meaning breast or courageous heart. He is the author of the Epistle of Jude. He preached in Edessa, modern Turkey, Armenia, and Persia. In Persia, he healed a local king and destroyed pagan idols, which enraged the local priests. According to tradition, he was clubbed to death or shot with arrows and then cut in half with an axe. He is often depicted holding an axe or a club. 11. Simon the Zealot, also called Simon the Canaanite. How he died, crucified or sawn in half. His nickname Zealot suggests he may have been part of a radical Jewish nationalist group opposed to Rome. After Pentecost, he preached in Egypt, Persia, and Britain, a strong but likely legendary British tradition. He was martyred in Persia. One tradition says he was crucified after refusing to sacrifice to the sun god. Another, more gruesome tradition says he was sawn in half with a saw. He is often depicted in art with a saw, which has become his primary symbol. Judas Iscariot, the betrayer. How he died, suicide by hanging. He was the treasurer of the group who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. The Bible gives two accounts that are often seen as complementary. Matthew 27 verse 5, and throwing down the pieces of silver into the temple, he departed, and he went and hanged himself. Acts 1 verse 18, now, this man acquired a field with the reward of his wickedness, and falling headlong he burst open in the middle and all his bowels gushed out. The likely sequence, he hanged himself, Matthew. The rope eventually broke or the branch snapped, and his body fell onto the rocky ground below, bursting open, Acts. He was replaced as an apostle by Matthias, Acts 1 verse 26. He is the only one of the 12 not considered a saint.